go by the name Freedom Jacob Caesar. Birth name as Nana Kwame Bediako, meaning born on Saturday, came to fight to win. And Freedom Jacob Caesar is a name that I rechristened myself with. I just wanted to show the world and especially the Black society that there is no problem to rechristen yourself. Jesus did, Jay Z, so many people have other names and they chose other names that have impacted nations and societies and generations. So, I'm just in a spirit of emulating what the older gods have done already, just because they found themselves in a different name, but they couldn't speak up about who they're seeing inside them. I found that person and I brought it out. So that's what Freedom Jacob Caesar is about. And the freedom that definitely stands for no fear. And the Jacob means that, voices, wealth, creation can actually bring unity. So that's what the Jacob represents, the 12 tribes of, Judah being the Israel, and since I'm from a continent like Africa, unity is one thing that I cherish a lot. And of course, Caesar is justification, claiming the throne and making sure that it's justified. And of course, I'm sitting on the throne as the Prince of Africa. I know a lot of people will be asking and thinking, what kind of royal family are you from? But I just want people to understand that there's no royal family bigger than God's royal. And I'm God's royalty. That's I've been crowned by the Almighty and I've been ordained, I've been anointed, and now I'm appointed. And I know those who like me, they love it. Those who hate me, they're disappointed, but it's all good. I like both of them.
Hey, it's Kellen, and I'm excited. Popping my collar in my Barmindo wear. Cameroon, what's up? What's going down? Today's guest, I haven't had a guest that has done what he has done, where he has done. This is an African business podcast for all. And Freedom Jacob Caesar. I jokingly tell people, and I told him before we got on here live, I talk about him. I say, because nobody has more African clothes than me, than Freedom Jacob Caesar and RJ Mahadi. And I had to give them both their kudos and their flowers. And I love seeing what they do. What Freedom does with his outfits is what everybody wants to do. This is what real princesses back in the day. He just brought it from back in the day and he's doing it. And I love it. I love it. I love the everything. So Freedom, welcome to the show. We're going to get right into it and not waste a minute. How are you doing, my bro?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
Freedom, you are the Prince of Africa. Please tell people it's heavy to wear the crown. How, with all the best is yet to come for you. You're just a small Peking. You're just showing what you can do. How is it that you hold up so many businesses, people, the philanthropy? Give us the game on your mental when you wake up. What do you do to prepare your mind for the day?
Well, first of all, I mean, my biggest tool and the most expensive tool that I have acquired from nature is time. And I feel like I'm very limited with it. And even if I'm blessed enough to see the 7 decades, 7 phases, and 7 stages of life that everybody's entitled to, I've gone past half of it. And that makes me feel like, I have to do more than people expect me to, which obviously brings a drive, a determination, and a push to do a lot of things in one go. And so I'm a multitasker. I'm a monopolistic disruption. I cause that a lot. I feel like, the Black society can do more from the entrepreneurial level, from the industrial level, and from the revolutionary level in the form of reformative and redemptiveness. So these are my inspiration. It starts with time. I feel like my time is not enough, so I got to get it all done. And I thank God for granting me the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, and the courage to do what a million men would probably wait for time to do. But I feel like time is not waiting for me. So I have to do what I have to do in my time.
I have to tell you, I get the same feeling. I have 78 more years, I say, on this earth. And, the elders will tell us, you guys have plenty of time, but I always think about the end. Right now, I'm thinking about the end and thinking about my king, my children. That thought, was that put into you by anybody, or is that just how you're wired?
No, I think that I adopted a lot of knowledge and lessons from humanity. Um, people need to understand that we live on this earth not by our own means, by the fact that we have people around us, and the people around us contribute to everything that we end up doing. So for me, I take a lot of lessons from nature, and that's how I acquire my wisdom, and from people. I learn from the worst people and I adopt from the best people, because the best will never teach you to become like them, and the worst would always want you to be like them, but you have to resist to be like them. So I'm in between, and I've learned what to get from people. It's always important to know what you can get from people rather than to think what you can get from people. When you know what you can get from people, when you know what you can get from this world, then you know where you're going. And that's when God puts his hands on you, because you become a chosen character for God. He knows that he's giving you brains, he's giving you wisdom, but now you are in a spiritual realm of maturity. You're growing, and he starts to appreciate you. So he chooses David, and he chooses Malcolm X, and he chooses Kwame Nkrumah. It's because of their genuine intuition and aim for society, for generations, for nature, how they want to add value to people's lives and what they came to meet on this earth. And so that's where I got all this from. And thanks to the Almighty.
And you mentioned something that it's not till you get, whatever that it factor is for you, where you get there to whatever level you are at life, where you say nobody will, the people who have it already just won't give it to you. Is that something out of they can't give it to you because you have to go through your journey? Or is that because the people at top are so worried about others coming up and you taking from them? Or could it be something else? Why is that?
I mean, that's just the norm. If God is responsible for creating this world, then the world is a space, and within the space is the air that we breathe on top of this space. And that means whoever that created that earth, that universe, is not in the midst of the people in that space. Obviously, he's out of that space to be able to control it. And I think that's what happens when people become the best. They see themselves out of a certain criteria of people, a certain caliber of people. So they sort of detach themselves from people. And of course, they don't want people to see what has made them the best, because they're enjoying their position, the first position. And I don't see anything wrong with that, although some people abuse others with that. When they become the best, they actually take away their value by not encouraging them and discouraging them. I'm not saying that that's the type of person that I like to be or I want to be when I am the best. And I don't just intend to be the best. I have been the best, and I think that there is something going beyond being the best, and that is being unique. You have to now show the world that, look, I'm not the best. I was just one. It was just one of me. So when you're not here, it's not just your name that gets mentioned, but your absence is felt. And I'm about that. I'm about legacy, and I'm about being unique. And wealth is a great thing, riches is a great thing, but I live up to legacy. And I feel like that's the only one thing I can do to fulfill my existence, why I came here. I just didn't flash through and died, but, I move a million foot forward. I change people, I change the nature, and even the weather felt my presence because I was here. And then these are the kind of things that gives me a great buzz. I don't know if there are people out there feeling like that, but then again, it comes back to the point of being unique. I'm just one. There's only one Freedom, Jacob Caesar. And, I thank God for giving me the chance to be here at this very moment. And that's why I'm appreciating the time so much.
Yes, yes, appreciate it. Suck it all in. And, Jesus had 12 disciples. So it's what you can do for the people around you that really show the wealth. People can get the cars, the helicopters, the planes, whatever you can imagine. But when you can put other people in homes, you can gift other people cars and opportunity also to fish for themselves, not just give it to them, because we know the world is full of, the poor you'll have with you always, and people will, constantly want to take, but to be able to give it is a beautiful thing. Now, talk about giving and living. Media wise, personally, I want you to give more in your YouTube. I'm just going to tell you right now. I want books on books because I really want people to get in to like the way you think, because when they see you with all the lavishes, they say, okay, that's how I want to be. But then to take them on the sleepless nights, I'm sure there've been many sleepless nights, the effort to get there. Do you think for the work that you put in, if you could lay it out in a book or a pamphlet or a course, that the majority would be able to keep up? Or would they fall asleep, fall off, or quit halfway up to the ladder?
Well, for me, I just think that, it's part of me creating awareness and changing the narrative of and the perspective of how a Black person think is a very difficult thing, because the Black people themselves couldn't change it amongst whatever society that they belong to. And that's one of the reasons why we don't have a society. We have a color. We're labeled by color. We can't say this is the Black society as much as they can determine the white society, the Jewish society, the Asian society. Africa, it's a continent that is breeding both black and white melanins. And when you look at the Black, we're all over the world. We belong to America. We belong to Britain. We're Black British, Black Americans, Jamaicans. We're all over the place. So definitely there is some kind of identity crisis. And I feel like, me being here, it's it's a great thing and a great point for me to show the world that, look, I'm here to change the narrative of how we think, how we perceive ourselves, how we present ourselves, and how we claim our own and build our own wealth and portray our wisdom to impact people's lives. Yes, of course, these sort of things will attract haters, but I understand it, because even Jesus Christ had haters, and he didn't mean no wrong. So that is something that definitely, society will bring to you. But what makes it more of a fun journey is that truly the people that you get to impact, the people that you get to inspire and motivate, sometimes at times a million compared to the ones that would dislike it and hate it. And that's when you truly see the impact that you have brought on this earth. And I want people to emulate this character when I'm not here, the art of claiming what is yours, and not just by saying it. It's one thing to say and it's another thing to do. So I just want the world to understand that, look, what you're seeing is what I'm doing. And those who think it can't be done should not get in the way of those who are doing it. Now, I don't have any problem whether you're a politician, whether you're a pastor, a businessman, entrepreneur. Yes, good luck to you. But we all got things to do and we have to do it. And so this is just the whole movement. It's part of the movement, and I'm making a movement out of the moment. Like I said, time is my biggest tool. And anyone that's listening to me out there, I am saying that, I'm killing time before time kills me. I'm doing 1,000 things. Some of them, I try and sometimes it fails, and I just have to do it again, because when you fail, you learn, and when you win, you earn. It's 50-50, and it still comes back to the same thing. I'm very, very positive, very, very uplifted. And I know that spiritually I'm anointed. Mentally, I know that I've been ordained with knowledge, wisdom, favor, patience, a lot of qualities of the tools that we need to live life. I'm lucky to have it. Everybody kind of have this chance, but they don't see it. They don't see that, they've been favored with wisdom. They've been favored with strength, with sight, with a lot of things. No matter how much you think you have or you're looking for, there is always something that you have that others never do. It's just that you didn't see the value of what you have, so you're probably looking for someone else's. But I really think that I'm blessed, first of all, to be black, because I wouldn't be telling you what I'm telling you today if it wasn't for my color. This taught me some things because I knew I belonged to a society that was segregated and separated, and had to find a way to put themselves on the map by not being labeled, but also claiming their self-entitlement and making sure that the acquisition that they take from this earth, it's globally, nationally recognized and acknowledged. And for me, these are the degrees.
Well, failure is just a stepping stone to success. So I guess we failing to do our best. I got to pop my collar. I'm from Oakland, so I got to put the Oakland twist on it. But with what you're doing, and even like your Freedom Coin, and I know a lot of people here in the States are like, you talk crypto now, and they're like, wait, isn't crypto failing? But crypto was never there for you to get rich. It was there for a whole nother reason, to have access to currency. Can you talk about your Freedom Coin and how you're and any other avenues where the average person, where they don't have to be a qualified or sophisticated investor, can get involved? Because Black America here in the States has tons of money. They don't know what to do with it. So they go buy Nikes, they go buy Benz, they go buy Maserati. They don't know how to make their money necessarily work for them, for the masses. We're getting an awakening. Thank God to social media and people being able to learn and connect. But what do you have going on right now that somebody with their first 10,000, maybe they have their first 100,000, can put in to make their money work for them?
So Freedom Coin, it's basically it looked like a white paper that is being created for crypto, but I believe that the African crypto is actually created by me, and from my mentality, I wasn't creating it in the form of something that goes up and comes down. I'm talking about appreciation of value when you are talking. Sorry, there's a call coming through. I just have to
No worries.
So basically, for me to create something that appreciates in value, and I thought that our currency was one of the biggest issue because it's only depreciating and losing value. So I needed to create a token or some sort of coin that just appreciates value and gives people the chance to understand the ways of controlling your wealth. And now, when I say your wealth, it's not your riches. It's what you have. It's what you have. That's your wealth. So if it's 10,000, if it's 1,000, people start businesses with $1,000 and it goes all the way to 1,000,000. It depends on the intentions that you start with that wealth and the value that you had for that $1,000 or that $10,000. So I am on my way and on a journey to create a platform that would make Africa's currency be crystallized under some sort of gold, so the value stays the same, because it doesn't make sense to me why Africans and Black society's money should be pegged against a foreign currency. They're all currencies. You don't have to rely on another currency. It's like another human relying on another human to eat. So the other human eats for the food to be transferred to their stomach before they leave. It doesn't make sense to me. Although our leaders never saw it that way, central banks never saw it that way. I just saw it as, look, technology is a platform that can make you really rich people, and if you could create a software and somehow, some way, back it with some gold reserves and such, that sustainability of currency, that is like a change of the world. So that's what Freedom Coin is about. I'm on my way to change Africa, and for me to be on a movement, I didn't think that just the movement is enough. I needed the wealth, the currency to back it, because I needed people to be able to understand that, trading in these numbers and trading in this currency and being able to have the flexibility to go to fiat, come back to currency and stay with the same value, whether the dollar goes up, the pound goes down, whatever it is, your value is the same and it's pegged under gold. And whenever you want to switch it into gold, you can switch it, because gold is the only thing that determines every country's currency. So why do we have so much gold and we have to depend on other people's currency by selling them our gold? and then they borrow us money again. It does not make sense to me. I mean, I know if any politician was listening to this now, they will be like, wow, yes, it's a real tough situation for us Black people, especially Africans who have, currency depreciation and inflation that is causing debts and starvation and poverty and so much crisis. No roads, big borders, borders bigger than the roads, no factories, no employment, very bad governance. But, president is like a god, but the whole nation is like slaves. So basically, I think the slave trade is still going on. We're being enslaved in now in a very diplomatic way. And I want to be able to contribute for us to come out of that valley. So that's the Freedom Coin. It's basically a wisdom that God has bestowed on me to be able to bring Black people and even young people worldwide out of currency enslavement.
And when will this coin be available? And what countries will you be able to invest in it first? We saw with like Acoin in America, unless you knew how to work around the system, it was illegal for you to have at one point. Who gets it first, and when are you expecting, for the world to get it?
One thing about me is that I always create awareness of what I'm doing, but I never give people the time, the place, what is going to come. Because two best qualities about me is if I don't surprise you, I confuse you. If I can't confuse you, I surprise you. And I think that's what God does. And I want to do the same thing to people. Like, about Freedom Coin. And before you know, it's out. The good thing is you've heard of it already. And if you ever heard it was out, you would just go and try and see what the Freedom Coin is about. And the Freedom Coin is suitable for your wallet, then there you go. You found it. But I'm not the type that, want to commit to society that on the 13th of February, I'm coming out with this, that, and it's going to do this, that. It does not prove anything to me. I need to see that my capacity and my plan, my structure, my machine is well built and is well connected, and all the things, licenses and permits and everything, and the software platforms, the technological platforms, everything is connected. Because I know once it kicks off, there are gonna be a lot of people who will want to get involved, not involved to as invest, but to destroy. So I am working on it, and it's definitely going to come out of it's one of the series that comes out of the Freedom Digital Banking. So the Freedom Network is a big thing, and all of these things is under the Freedom Movement. It's a big movement. It's a big movement that is the three R's, the triple R. So it's reformative, and it's redemptive, and it's revolutionary. That's the movement. I'm reforming.
My audience is smart. So they want to get on the ICO. So, they want to see the white paper as soon as it comes out, and they want to get in that initial coin offering because this is a smart audience that really, believes in cryptocurrency and it's true thing. So, and you've also put some news out there that you're going to invest in those who invest in it. So do they just need to sign up for on your website or on your social media and follow you and just keep waiting?
No, it's going to be very simple. In less than 1 minute, you're going to have an account. Your account is just like you having an email with Gmail with your own password. I don't have anything to do with your own account. You control your money. Okay, and you will be on the Freedom Digital Banking, and straight away you can start trading with Bitcoin, Dogecoin. You can start doing anything in this world. So I'm cutting out all the central banks. I'm not saying that they're not good, but I'm saying that if the central banks have something that they want to do with me behind decentralization, I'm probably the one to connect with. And if Africans are looking for something that will sustain their currency and give them the chance to be able to trade across cross-border movement, I have the platform. And if Africans want to make sure that they're not putting their money in some savings or banks that they end up taking a part of the money every month, and you want to control your wealth like that, that's with me. So basically, Freedom Coin is not just like some crypto coin or Bitcoin. And that's their method. America is America. And I think that everything should be designed to suit the culture and the traditions around the terrain of whatever people you're serving. And, my first clients are Africans. and some Africans are, of course, interested in crypto, Bitcoin. So now I'm giving you the chance to have a taste of the African crypto, but it's not going to be like Bitcoin. It's not going to be like Dogecoin. It's going to be a crystallized currency that you actually are in control of on a digital platform. And if you want to turn it to physical, you can turn all your money. You go to Swiss bank, Swiss gold, and you go and get a refined gold that is well stamped and trade the gold if you want. I'm giving you 1,000 ways to switch your currency and to keep your currency at the value that it deserves. I'm so sorry. There's a plane on the tarmac waiting for me. I'm lucky that if it wasn't a private plane, maybe it would have left me, but I'm still keeping everybody going. But I would ask you politely, if there's one more question, I'll take it. And then maybe we'll catch up again.
Okay, I'll ask it, because I'm not going to ask you my signature question about community give back. They can Google that. Do you have any tips for that young investor who says, I want to be like Jacob Caesar? Where do I start in Africa? What do I buy first? The house, the apartment building? Give them just a piece of the game before you leave.
Well, building wealth doesn't start with buying a house or having an apartment building or buying a car or starting a business. Sometimes it starts with a simple mindset for you to understand what investment means and what development means. And when I say these two things, it just doesn't mean investing financially. When you put your time into people, it's an investment. When you train and you nurture people to build them and make them your own type of character so they can be in your world, is development. These two things is what I leave with the world, the youth, that understand what investment means and understand what development means. These two things goes together. And that's why there is a monitor on the screen. That's how it works. One is developed, one is monitoring. So the investment, it's something that we really need to understand when we're giving. And the giving has two sides. It goes to the ones who want and the ones who need. The ones who need is for charity. The ones who want is for paying. So it's up to the world and it's up to the people who are listening to me, how they use these two things. And anything that you give to, you're part of developing it. And once you know you're part of developing it, you want to nurture it. So it can just be a network that comes from your development. It can just be a believer that wants to invest in what you're doing based on your development. But your investment is key because it comes back to the time. And I really want people to respect time more than money, because it's the only thing that makes you get the money. You spend the time to get the money.
I thank you. I thank you for your time, for your blessings. Bless you. And you guys share this game. It will change somebody's life. You guys heard it from Freedom Jacob Caesar. You guys check the links in the description. Share the game. Appreciate you, my bruv. We're coming to Ghana, just so you know. We're bringing 30 Black Americans in October with my client, who you're gonna meet. You're gonna meet on the next interview. God willing.
Please let me know, and we'll probably, do the posting. We have hotels here and everything, and arrange the best deals for you guys. Okay.
Appreciate you. Blessings to you.
Are you tired of the violence, tired of the injustice, police brutality, rampant discrimination, lack of gun control in this failed biased socioeconomic experiment called America? Or maybe you need a break from the relentless grind and want to regain control of your destiny, your wealth, your health, and your purpose. DiversifiedGame.com has the right course for you. Prepare for my first trip to Africa. Looking to reconnect with your roots, start a new business, or just a fresh start. Africa, aka the motherland, is waiting. Don't let the Chinese and the Mzungus have the fun and also take over the motherland. From Cairo to Mombasa, from Dakar to Cape Town, Africa has something for everyone, from business opportunities to the most amazing people, safety, leisure, and landscapes. The opportunities abound. It is time for the diaspora to reconnect with their roots. Time to reconnect with the birthplace of humanity. Africa is the last frontier. Get your head in the game and reclaim your legacy. The writing is on the wall. Babylon is falling. Give up the stress, grind, and violence inflicted on our people on this continent and prepare for a journey of restoration enjoyed by connecting with the land of your ancestors. Check out our new course and kick off your adventure at diversifiedgame.com.